Okay, so welcome to how to collect more high quality reviews to grow your online presence and sales, presented by Customer Reviews, aka Local Reviews, in partnership with Commerce7. I'm Tessa Davies, Commerce7's Growth and Event Marketing Manager, and I'm joined today by COO of Local Review, Luke Brandley. Say hello, Luke.
Hello, everybody.
Thank you for taking the time today to go through this with all of us. Commerce7's been putting these on, these expert partner webinars for a while now in an effort to continue to provide free quality content and maintain the great relationships we have with partners like Local Reviews. We're excited that you guys have all joined us today. Before we get started, just a few items. The Q&A box, feel free to jot down your questions there throughout. I will interrupt Luke when ideal to ask those questions for you. So please feel free as they come up, just jot them down. Today's session is being recorded, so that recording clip will go out to everybody in addition to Luke's slide deck. So if you're not a note taker, no worries. Feel free to sit back and just absorb the info or feel free to take notes, whatever you like. I won't delay us any further. Take it away, Luke. You can go ahead and share your screen.
Yeah, let me do that. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. It's good to be here. It's great to have Commerce7 as a great partner. So I appreciate everybody taking your time. And I do want to make this interactive. So if you do have questions throughout, please don't hesitate to interrupt, and Tessa will interrupt me and we'll get going. So again, thank you so much. Let's see, there we go. Make sure the slide's working. Here's just a few key things that we'll go over today. First, I just want to point out that Local Reviews integrates directly with Commerce7 and other point of sale software companies as well. We help local businesses throughout the US and Canada to literally collect 10 times more high quality reviews, 5-star reviews. What we'll be discussing today is why reviews are essential for local businesses. I think we all know the importance of them, or you probably wouldn't be on this today. How to organically rank higher on Google itself, how Local Reviews solves the 4 key Google algorithms. We'll talk about that and what that means. The importance of text messaging as part of what you do and how you communicate with your customers. Again, the integration with Commerce7, and then a couple of other features that Local Reviews provides. With that, we'll just jump right into it. People tend to favor a product that has more reviews, even when it has the same low rating as an alternative product. So if something comes in and it's like a 4.4, but it has 1,000 reviews, and another business has a 4.4 but only has 20 reviews, we're going to look at that company that has the 1,000 reviews. Google has taught us all, has made us all throughout the entire world accustomed to looking at reviews. We're all very good. We're going to talk about this some more, but we're all very good at looking at reviews and utilizing reviews, but we're not, and when I say we, really our consumers are not really good at leaving reviews. And so we're going to talk about that and how that is a serious problem and how Local Reviews can help with that. Google's come out and said that the keyword near me is one of the most searched keywords out there now, which is really cool for local businesses. But think about it yourself. Think about it if you have used near me. Just not too long ago, my wife and I were traveling and it was getting late and we had another 4 or 5 hours, and I'm like, I'm just exhausted. Let's stop here in this little town and let's stay overnight. And so I said, while I'm driving, search for something. So she literally searched best hotel near me, and we went and we stayed there. And then I said, I'm sure you're hungry. What do you want to eat? What do you want to eat? She's like, Mexican. All right. So she searched best Mexican restaurant near me, and that's where we went. And come to find out, it was delicious. But we all do that, you know. We look for reviews, and the reality is, good reviews drives volume. It just does. It's important also to recognize the last note there: more reviews in more places creates more visibility, more trust, and more sales, obviously. So when I talk about more places, Google is definitely the premier location where you want to be visible. But there's Yelp, there's TripAdvisor, there's Better Business Bureau, which I don't know if anybody uses that one anymore. But and Facebook, and the list goes on and on. There's lots of different places that your consumers are leaving reviews, and so it's important for you to be able to manage those as well. So what I'm going to do is help show you how to rank #1 organically on Google. I think this view should be familiar to most of you, if not all of you have seen something like this and have searched for something like this yourself. If you haven't, or if you don't routinely do a search for this for your business, you should. I would suggest adding that to your calendar to look at it at least once a month. You could just type in best winery and then put in, fill in the blank, your city, or if you're actually there at the winery, type in near me, and you'll see the results here. I decided to pick a small little city, so I didn't find anybody that may be on this call, but you can see that this is the results. In big bold letters here, I say 90% of all searches stop here, and that's true. Just think again throughout this, think about your own experience. When my wife was searching for those things just the other day, she never left this page, right? We literally picked the top hotel and the top restaurant. Very rarely do we click on the more places. So if you're not listed here, you need to ask yourself, how do I get listed there and stay there, right? And what business am I losing because I'm not? And again, this is something that Google provides for us organically for free, right? There are usually some ads that are above it, but this is what Google provides for free for us. And so this is where you want to be. So what Google does to get you ranked there is 4 key things. #1, we're all very familiar with the total number of reviews. That's important. The average rating, right? So 4.7 out of 5. We're all very familiar with that one. The next 2 features, I'm not sure how familiar people are with. I actually was talking to somebody that owns a cookie shop, and he realized #3. He was very familiar with #3, which was unique. But most people don't understand the frequency of reviews. What I mean by that is, let's say I have 3,000 reviews, but they're 3 years old, but my business is still happening, but I've decided I don't need to focus on reviews anymore. I have so many. Google says that business is not relevant. So when I'm searching for a business near me or in this particular city or area, that business is not relevant. So Google will not rank them, even though they may have a higher average rating or more reviews. They're not getting them frequent reviews. Google says they're not relevant. And then #4 is responding to reviews. This one is the most misunderstood. Google can actually track when a review comes in and when and if a response is made, they can track that. And so it's not urgent that you're responding every second that one comes in, but at least once a week you should be going and responding to your reviews. Google thinks that that's important, that you're having this authentic experience with customers. And those are the key things of how you can get found on Google. Any questions so far, Tessa? I want to take a stop right there and see if there's any questions before we jump into this.
No questions yet.
No questions. Okay.
Yeah.
All
If
right.
you guys have questions, feel free to jot them down.
Yep. And if I'm putting you to sleep, let me know that too. Here's how local reviews resolves those key Google algorithms. Number one is we include text messaging. So with our integration with Commerce7, we can automatically send clients of Commerce7's, we can send their customers a text automatically. And it has a review invite that says, hey, please leave us a review. And I'll show you that here in just a minute. And that solves really the first three problems. Number one is you're going to get more reviews. You're going to get a higher score of reviews. The rating itself is going to be higher because you're capturing people at their happiest state. Like I've heard it said that when you buy a boat, you have 2 days that you're happiest, the day you bought it and the day you sold it, right? So we try to capture people at their happiest state. And that's as close to the purchase as you can get. Think about restaurants, right? You can't always control maybe food poisoning or whatnot, or something, an ingredient in that may upset somebody's stomach, but you can the food quality, the quantity, the excuse me, the employees, the waiters, and so forth. You can control all of that, and so while they're there, they're the happiest, right? Later on, it may not be as happy. So you want to capture them. And then frequency, right? Because we're sending automatic text messages on your behalf, that covers the third one, and getting frequent reviews. And then we provide an awesome place for you to manage all your reviews. So Google, Facebook, Yelp, TripAdvisor, and so many others that you can manage all within one location. You don't have to log into this one, then log into that one. How am I doing here? How am I doing there? What's my results? You can see it all from one dashboard. So that makes it really slick and easy for you. We kind of touched about this before. 80% of consumers search reviews before making a buying decision, but only 5%, and maybe it's even less than that, actually leave a review. I want to ask you, I want you to think about the last week, when you went out to dinner, when you went and got your car fixed, or car washed, or you went to the dentist, or got a massage, or whatever it is, whatever you're doing. My wife gets her hair done all the time, did you leave that business a review? And chances are you didn't. And so we help resolve that as well through the text message. It's kind of what I like to call a little friendly nudge that text messages do. So text messaging, according to Texsanity, excuse me, our answer 98% of the time. You all right now listening to this have your phone, and probably most of you are bored enough that you probably looked at your phone while I've been talking. We just do that, right?
I was busy giving a bad review.
Yeah. Exactly. But we're not very good at looking at our emails, and so text messaging is so powerful. And if you're not utilizing that right now in your business, you should consider tools and resources to do that better. This is kind of what a text message, this is one that we've created, but you can, our clients can customize the text message to say whatever they want. We do always advise that you do not make it lengthy. You want to keep it short. The only time I get a long text is when my wife's upset. So you don't want a long text. You want to keep it short. You want to put your name in it. and then let them know the expectation. One of my clients the other day, I saw one of theirs that said something like, hey, will you please take some time to leave us a review? And I said to him, what does that mean to them? Is it going to take me some time? Like, I don't want to do that, right? But if it literally is going to take me a few seconds, then I'm okay with doing it. Think about like Uber. I'm sure you are all familiar with Uber and probably have taken an Uber. I take Uber way too often. But what happens is Uber literally has millions of reviews and they have a 4.9 score. The reason that is because before I even really take more than 2 or 3 steps, I have a text that says, please leave me a review. And one time I remember I was still getting my luggage. I had a lot of things. I was still getting my luggage and my phone beeped while I'm getting my luggage. So before I even got out of the car, I got the text message. And we leave that review. Let me show you. I made this link a live link. I hope this works. They can literally click that link and within just seconds, they're brought. Can you see that? Tessa, can you see that? Google?
Yeah. Yes.
Perfect. I'm so glad. So literally, I already came in and did this, but they can literally click the 5-star, type something up if they want. They don't even have to do that. And they can post that. And it becomes live that fast. So we make it super easy for them to leave a review. I mean, it just doesn't get any easier than that. And that's sorry,
like I will admit that, I've been to a restaurant or some place and I'm like, oh, that was such a cool experience. I got to leave them a good review. And then I never do. I forget, I get busy. Right. The only time I'm really making an effort to leave a review is if it's a bad review.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't know if others feel that way too.
Yeah, no, for sure. We're all that way. I mean, statistically, I showed the stats already. That's just our nature. That's what we do. But if you had this friendly reminder to leave you a review, you're more willing to do so. So, yeah, very good. And again, I mentioned this before, is we automatically text your customers for you at the point of sale. So they use the Commerce7 to make their purchase. We can then what we call fetch or pull that data and send that customer a text that you've created. One time you set it up, you create your template like the template I just showed you on the previous screen. You select that template, and then when this payment processes, we automatically, on your behalf, send them that text. You don't have to do anything else. So that relationship with Commerce7 really makes that a beautiful experience and simple and really makes it so it's hands-free for you. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. That's literally how you get 10 times more reviews and dominate the search results, get ranked higher. It's simple, but it's profound and powerful. Okay, so a couple other things just really quick. Something that sets local reviews apart from our competition is unlimited. We provide unlimited text messages, emails, everything we can do with text messaging, we can also do with emails. But text messaging is obviously so much more effective. Unlimited contacts, unlimited users. So if you have several different people you want to give access to it, you can do that. And then of course, 5-star customer and technical support. I hate when I'm paying for a service and then I need technical support and they're like, give us another $100 and we'll help you. I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm already paying you. So we provide that unlimited. The unlimited text messages becomes very powerful because not only can you use it for what we've been talking about, getting you more reviews, but if you had a special coming up or whatnot, you could send out a bulk text message or bulk email to your contact list and say, hey, we have this event coming up, come and check it out. And so you can use it kind of like MailChimp in that regard as well. There's two-way text messaging available. A lot of our clients don't utilize that feature, but it's there. Some of them use it for, let's say, hey, your suit just got finished being tailored, come and pick it up at your convenience. And you can have that back and forth conversation with your clients if you'd like. One thing that's really cool is this widget that we offer. It allows you to put your live reviews on your website, and you can display them. We make it really simple. It's literally for your developers, it's literally a copy and paste, and they can paste the code and display your reviews on your website, all your 5-star reviews. That's a really cool feature. And we do that absolutely. All this is included. And then notifications about your reviews, right? Because you want to be able to respond to them timely. All the analytics and reporting that you could ever imagine that you needed. Again, customizable templates that you can use. Yes, there's an app. There's no contract with us. We don't feel like we have to force people to do business with us. So we do really well, and so we just don't do contracts. And then we absolutely have the best prices in the industry. And then, of course, the results speak for themselves.
Fantastic. Luke, we've got a couple questions that have come in.
Perfect. Oh, good.
What C7, Commerce7 elements trigger the review text to go out? That's part one of the question. Can you activate off of reservation SKUs, club signups, and product purchases?
That's a great question. So let's start with, so what is needed in part of the process is that you have a loyalty program, or you somehow you collect within the Commerce7 system that customer's name, excuse me, name and phone number and or email. Sometimes you don't need to do that. Like my wife, her credit card is set up so that she allows anybody that when she uses her card wherever she goes, she gives automatic permission for people to leave you, to send her a text message or an email. She includes that. And some people do that. That's very few. So you want to have some kind of loyalty or some sort of way that you collect their information into the Commerce7 system. And once that payment is transacted, then we will automatically grab that data and send them a text message. What was the follow-up? There was another, can we use
can you activate off of reservation SKUs, club signups, and product purchases? Yes, because you would be collecting their email address through signups, product purchases, reservation SKUs, etc. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Exactly. So the answer is definitely yes.
Or their phone number.
Yep. Yep.
And
exactly.
Then another question is, can you keep bad reviews from showing on your website?
Yes. So, well, yes and no. So let me answer that. So the widget, this widget right here, you can just display, you can choose just to display your 5-star reviews only. It is actually set up that you can show 4 or 5-star. I don't know anybody that selects to choose their 4-star, but you can show all your 5-star reviews on your website only. So that answers it. But let me go deeper, because the other question, I think that question really leads to another one, which is if you send them a text and they leave you a bad review on Google, is there any way to remove that? And the answer is no. Local Reviews for the last 15 years has had a direct syndication with Google. We were one of the first 4 companies in the entire world to have that syndication. And now, of course, Thousands do, of course. But because we've been able to keep that relationship, Google wants it to be authentic, wants it to be real. If something happens, like somebody says, gives you a 1 star, but says this was the best winery I've ever had, the most wonderful experience, I'm going to share this with all my friends, then we can take that to Google and say, hey, look, this is what took place, let's fix this. And they will, and they'll change that and fix it. And so when errors like that take place, we can fix those. But if it's a legitimate, or looks like a legitimate concern, the best thing to do, number one, is you're getting frequent reviews, so it's going to bury any sort of bad reviews, right? And people, like, sometimes if you have 5 or 6 reviews and they're all 5-star, and somebody else has 30 or 40 reviews and they're 4.9, you're going to go with the person that is getting more reviews. Just about it again yourself. The 4.9 actually looks more authentic. So as that will get buried, but also because you're responding to the review and you're fixing it and making it better for them, once you do resolve that with them, you can ask them, would you mind leaving us another review, and provide them that opportunity to give you a 5-star. Those are great questions. Thank you. I hope I answered that correctly. So any others?
I have a question about how folks opt in or opt out of receiving the text messages. Is there anything set up around that?
Yeah, it's automatically. So when they provide the phone number or email to Commerce in the Commerce7 system, so into your business, they're agreeing to opt in. But each text message comes with a feature to say, type in stop to opt out, and that's automatically included in the text. You can remove that. You can remove that feature so it doesn't say that in the text. However, if they still type in stop, which is the universal command, they will be removed from your text messaging. So even though, let's say they hit stop and respond to you, and then they're still in your list. So in a couple weeks later, you're going to send out your entire list of message, and they're included in that list. You'll send it, but they will not receive it. They are out. So they get to opt out. So that's a great question. They can then type in start to be invited back in. And then if they do that, they'll be automatically re-added. Good question.
Excellent. Does anyone else have any other questions? We've got a few minutes here. Let's see here. Can you show us what the dashboards or interfaces look like?
Sure. Yeah, let me see here. That'll take me just a second. Before I do that, I wanted to show you real quick how to find us. And I'll show you our dashboard as well. That's a great question. But if you come here to Commerce7, to apps, and you may within your POS be able to find it some other direction as well. You just type in reviews, and then we show up first under customer reviews. This is us. This is how you would sign up for us. It's only $37 a month to do all that we've talked about and more. So that's how you can find us. Now let me just show you the application. It'll take me just a second here. Just going to bring up a test site. This is the back end. You won't see any of this. This is just for my eyes only. But this is the application right here. This is if you have more than one location. Each location is only $37 each, but it is it's not, if I have unlimited location, it's only 37. It's $37 per location. But this is a master overview. You can see that they're collecting, again, this is just a sample site, but collecting reviews on all these different review sites. But if I then want to look at just a particular location, I can pull that up and I can drill down. Okay, they're just have these three items, these three review sites. I can manage, like I mentioned, manage all the reviews from one location. So I can respond to reviews from here, from this one, from whatever it is. So this is a Better Business Bureau. This is a Google one. So I can respond to all those reviews right here from this one location, from any spot. The other cool thing is I may want to connect. See, I have all these different Angie's lists, Open Table. I have all these review sites that I'm getting data for and collecting reviews for, but I'm only sending right here, I'm only sending people to Google to leave a review. So when I send them that text message or that email, the review link itself only is giving them the option to go to Google. But I could add, well, you know what, I want to give them the option. So I'm going to add Facebook. So now my survey link, instead of taking them directly to Google, which I think is the best option, but now I can give them a preference. They can click here and it'll go exactly where I showed you before, right to the page, or they can click Facebook and it'll take you to your Facebook page for them to leave you a review. So either one, or I can even add a third if I wanted to. And so I can give my consumers options to where is most convenient for them to leave a review. Again, you have to realize, especially when you're sending text, that they're already on their phone. And so they're generally already logged into Google on their phone. And so sending them to Google is most convenient for them. Otherwise,
Luke,
they would have to log into like Yelp or something. Sorry, go ahead.
So that was just a question that came up. Is Yelp an option to be added?
Yes, absolutely. Yep. So you just come down here, type in Yelp, and you can connect it. It's really simple. We've done all the work on the back end. So all you're doing is basically going in and saying, yes, local reviews can see my reviews on Yelp and collect reviews. Yeah. So Yelp, any of those, any ones that you can think of. I mentioned TripAdvisor before. There it is. You can connect it. And you do this one time, right? You connect all these just one time and it's there for you forever so that you can see the results and so forth. Those are great questions.
Another question. So on the flip side, to find the customer reviews app within the Commerce7 interface, you just, when you're on your dashboard, you just go to apps and extensions to search for customer reviews. So you can also search on the back end that way. A question that did come up was, how are these texts and reviews showing within the Commerce7 interface, or are they? Do you have an answer to that one?
I'm not sure I understand that question right. So within the Commerce7, what we're doing, all local reviews is doing is reading that information. So you keep all the information. Commerce7 has all the information, local reviews does not. And so we read the name and phone number only. And then we automatically, on your behalf, our system then will, once it's read that information, will send that. If the phone number is received or a text message is received, then we automatically send them a message.
I think maybe the question is referring to, oh, one second here. but is it somehow notated within the CRM that this customer was sent a message? Oh,
Yeah, that answer is no.
okay.
It's here though, so you can
Yeah.
pull it all here within this system.
Mhm.
Let me show you here. Oops, that's the bulk. Sorry, I clicked on the wrong button. Right here, you can export your history. Year to date, month to date, 2 days ago, 1 day ago, whatever you want, you can export it and see who received the text message and all your results from your texting. Yeah, that's a great question. But no, it's not on the Commerce7, it's on our side.
And another question that just came up was, why not just add a little note on the Commerce7 transaction email to leave a review with a link?
You can do that. You
Mhm.
absolutely can. You can absolutely do that.
Yeah, text
So
messaging is just another way of getting them. Like, say they walk out of
yeah,
your tasting room and they get a
right,
text 10 minutes later.
right. It's just more effective, but yeah, you absolutely. So there's a link here that you can use that never changes. So even though, like I showed you before, I decided I'm going to show all three: Google, Facebook, and Yelp as options, or maybe next time I'm just going to send them just to Google. You can make all those changes, but your link itself never changes. So you never have to worry about it. You can publish it once. It also has a QR, it translates into a QR code, which again, you never have to change ever. You can print it once. You can say, put a big banner.
Mm.
I have a spa that puts a big banner, says, leave us a 5-star review. And and everybody's trained to send them to that. And so they
Right.
use the QR code as well. So yeah, and you could put that on your receipt on, and
You,
even though
you could you also put that printed up on a sign on each table at a tasting room? Yeah.
absolutely 100%, you totally could, and write content around it, whatever you want, put your logo, whatever you want, and they can scan that QR code and it'll take them directly to wherever you want, to the Google, Facebook, Yelp, whatever you want. And again, you can change that week to week or month to month or however you want, but the QR code never changes. So it makes it very effective for you.
I have a bit of a more technical question for you. Say someone leaves a review, they're, very respondent to the QR code on the table. They're like, this was a great experience, I'm going to leave a review.
Yep.
Will your system track that they've already left a review
Yes.
instead of sending them a text again after they've already left one?
Perfect answer. Yes, absolutely. So right here, we don't send it to repeat customers. So I have several coffee shops, right, and they have repeat customers every day, right? And so we developed this really with them in mind, but it's exactly what you're saying too. Like if they're using a different means to leave a review, we're not going to send them another one. Right now, this one's set up as a default of 5 minutes. So in this case, in this scenario you brought up, actually they would get a text if it was 5 minutes after. So if they scanned it while they're at the table, left a review, went up and made their payment or whatever, and closed their tab or whatever it was, then and that was 5 minutes later, then they could get another text. So all you would do as a business owner is you'd come in here and change this to, look, I don't have repeat customers every single day, so I'm going to say 5 days. Don't send it to them, right? And so when that transaction takes place, if it's less than that time, they will not get another text. So, and that doesn't mean, 6 days later, because they did have the transaction, it's going to send them one. No, if that took place during that time frame, it won't be sent. So they will just have that one opportunity. It'll go in and find out and say, all right, don't send it to them. Or I can say, you know what, let's give them an hour or two or whatever, whatever works best for your business. So that's great. So yeah, so we make sure that they don't get repeat text, because the feature is awesome, right? Especially think about a coffee shop. I get the text and I'm like, oh, this is cool. Yeah, I can leave a review. But day after day after day, you're like, okay, this is annoying. It went from
Yeah,
awesome to annoying. So yeah, so we can help with that for sure.
fantastic. Okay, well, that's it for questions. So I just wanted to give another thank you to Luke for taking time out of his day to walk us through this. This is super helpful. I love learning more about this. Although I've only been with Commerce7 about a year, so I'm still learning all of the different partnerships and great integrations that Commerce7 has. So thank you so much for taking the time. Everyone, thanks for joining. We will be sending the slide deck and recording over to you. And Luke, if people wanted to reach out to you, how can they contact you?
They can reach out to me at support@localreviews, or my direct email is luke@localreviews.com. I'm happy to help.
Fantastic. Great. Well, thanks so much, everyone. And I hope everyone has a great rest of your week. Take care.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.